Hi Aquarius, I hope that you are all doing well. What I'm seeing go on in the pre-shuffle is that it looks like something is moving forward now, which feels like it's indicating there was something that you were moving through. Maybe something that you got stopped because you had to be tending to that, but now it looks like you're able to move forward. We're starting off with Four of Wands, meaning maybe you had to deal with something and you felt like you couldn't move on from it until you dealt with it, but now you've dealt with it, so now you can move forward. I'm looking at Four of Wands. I'm looking at Page of Wands. Okay. I feel like you're on track here now. Not that you weren't before, but there can be more of a feeling that you're where you're supposed to be right now. Now is a good time to be thinking about what you want, because it looks like there's a crossroads that's coming up and you are going to have to be ready to decide. Meaning you can possibly be faced with a decision here and you want to make sure that you're really thinking about it and not just automatically doing something. Feel like you're going to have to be very deliberate with this. That is the recommendation anyway within the energy. So when we have the Four of Wands, it can be a time where you're like, okay, whatever it was that needed to be figured out has been figured out and times are good now. And so like, great, you're in a great period right now where things are okay, or at least they feel level or steady, or you're not struggling with something anymore, which can be a great feeling. And then having, I'm getting confirmation of this, and then having Page of Wands there, this is the part of you that's steering the ship right now, and having Judgment there shows that there's Judgment in Two of Wands. It shows that there is a choice that's coming up, and this can be like a timeline split that you can experience. It can be a crossroads that you experience, whatever it is that you want to call it. You're faced with an opportunity. You have different things that you can do with it. You have different potentials here, essentially, and you get to choose which path you feel like is most fitting for whatever it is that you want. But you want to be clear on your intentions, and you want to be clear on why you're picking what you're picking, rather than just picking something automatically, not thinking a lot about it, and then looking back and being like, well, if I had realized what was really at stake there, or what really were the options, or what I really could have chosen, I may have chosen differently. And you don't have to look back and think that, because you're about to be coming up on that moment, and if you give it some thought, you're not going to feel that way. So it feels like you're getting a bit of a heads up here, because something needs to be thought about. I'm seeing Pluto and I'm seeing Virgo here. So you really want to think about what your next moves are going to be, that you're going to be making. You want to maybe see too if there is a possibility that you may be... Okay. What I'm seeing be going on within the energy is that you're going to have something here that's going on that you could have been choosing, or you may have not fully realized the implications of this, but it can be something that you're becoming more aware of. There could be something that you're compromising on, that maybe you've told yourself you're okay with it, but when you think about it more, that may not actually be the case here. You can be doing something possibly, and I have to say, we have the devil popping out here. You can be doing something possibly where you feel like, am I getting a bargain? Am I getting a deal here? And it may be like you are getting gypped big time, okay? So when it comes to this thing that you're doing over here, it may be something that you want to think about a bit more, because I'm seeing something a little bit radioactive be going on within the environment, but you can be like, it's like the devil steals something for you and gives it to you and is like, here, this is for you. And you're like, wow, it's such a nice gift, but it's like stolen. It just feels like something that doesn't actually belong where it's being put. But there can be a difficult time saying no to this because it looks good on the outside. But anytime that you're negotiating in this type of way for something, it ends up, you get root rot from something like this, okay? When we have the devil below something like the Four of Wands, now Four of Wands is going to be a foundation within your life, something that feels very important to you, something that you need to be able to rely on that thing in order to function. You're supposed to have that thing steady. So it can be home, it can be partnerships, relationships, marriage, can be living situation, there's job. There's something here where you need to be able to rely on it, that it is going to be steady and stable for you, and that the foundation is set. Having the devil be the thing that's holding something together, it takes one strong wind to come through and something happens. Or the devil has you doing some things to keep stuff steady that you don't want to really be doing, that you may look at and be like, that was actually out of alignment with my integrity in a big way. But I was doing it because I just wanted that stability there. Or like I wanted to feel like things were okay within the relationship. Yet having the devil there, it's just going to keep charging you a higher and a higher price for something until you feel like I don't have anything left to give. And is that the type of situation that you want to be choosing here? Because you can have a Four of Wands that the devil is not involved in. Or you have this thing here which the devil is involved in, and you can decide to choose that. And then you can see the Tower come through and take it away, because that's exactly what's going to happen. That's what happens with this energy. The devil is not a balanced energy. The devil is inherently an energy where something is lopsided with it. There's an issue. There's an extreme of some sort where this wouldn't naturally be something that goes together. But the devil puts super glue on something, and as long as that holds, it kind of stays together, but eventually it's going to fall apart. So you want to be aware of what's driving you here. Because I feel too like having devil be looking over at Hermit, you may be well aware that something is actually not the ideal. You may be well aware that you could just be connecting with something, holding on to something from a place of trying to like be diplomatic in the way that I'm saying this, because I don't want there to be this feeling of defensiveness, right? Because we need to be open if we're really going to listen to what's going on within the energy. When we have the devil there, it's something that it's actually not in our best interest to be doing, but the wounded part of us can be convincing us that it's in our best interest, when really if you were to take a closer look, you'd know that it's not. You'd know that it's actually the opposite of that. But because it can be tied to something that you want, something that you don't want to let go of or don't want to be disturbed, you can be willing to make that sacrifice. But this isn't a good type of sacrifice. This is the type of sacrifice that tears you limb from limb energetically. And then you feel like you have nothing left. This is the type of thing that is going to pull your life force out of you and then ask for more, demand more. And you're not going to have any left to give. So this is something where inherently there is not reciprocity within it, and the price will become steeper and steeper, and you will run out of whatever this is, and you get more and more desperate. And I know that that can sound kind of extreme, but it's the way that it happens within the energy, and it doesn't start off like that. It's just gradually the direction that things go in. So is there something right now that you're intertwined within, something that you are choosing even, where if you look at it, you see that there's something that you're looking for on a deeper level, and this is just barely scratching the surface of what that is for you, but you can feel very attached to the idea that this is something that you want. This would blow away in the wind if you took a closer look. If you were really willing to be honest with yourself about this. So is there... Okay, so as I said before about the devil being involved, we see that the Tower is going to be something that will come out. Justice is coming out after the devil, which is going to be about reinstating balance that's not there, and I'm seeing Tower on the bottom of the deck. If you are to remain within something, when I see Four of Wands, I see this as being marriage, a serious relationship, can be a job, can be a living situation. It's something that you can feel very tethered to, and that when you get this in its pure energy, it's something that feels very supportive of you within your life. Yet when the devil is there, you feel like the price that you're paying for something to support you and feel stable is you're like overpaying monumentally in your energy. But why it's convoluted is that we can be convincing ourselves that's really what's best for us, when I'm telling you, if you take the closer look, you'll see that that's not the case. And you'll be like, wow, I can't believe I was buying into that. When you separate yourself from a situation like this, you look back into it and you see like how actually toxic it was for you. How it was not in your best interest to be doing. And how it even propagates things that you don't want within your life. And it's confusing too, because Four of Wands is something that we want, right? Like we want foundation. We want things that we can lean on and rely on. We want that stability. And we can have that. It's just this situation the devil is within, and you're not really going to get the true essence of what that is at a fair price when the devil is involved. And you can be recognizing that. This can be something that at this point you're seeing, and maybe it is something that you want to respond to in a way that's going to mitigate the energy, having justice be coming out next. Because the devil will take you into some sort of extreme. And having justice be there, how do we bring things back into balance? Because something is imbalanced. And you'll be able to feel that within the system, that not everything is functioning in the way that it needs to be. And I feel even too, having the Tower be around, I feel almost like if you are willing to listen to this and ignore the message, I feel like a Tower is going to happen, just seeing it be in the environment, meaning you may be getting your guides telling you to take action with this and to do something about it. Otherwise, a Tower is going to happen, and then you don't know how the pieces are going to fall, and you'll have a lot less control over this situation. So it's kind of like you're in the little tube going down the river, and it's about to hit a waterfall. But you can evacuate now, or you can go down the waterfall and see what ends up happening with the energy. And that's basically the storyline here. So what I'm seeing is like you're going down the river, okay? If you keep going in the same channel that you're going down, it's going to lead to the waterfall. But I'm seeing it veer off. I'm seeing there be another option that veers off here, and you can do that. And it will bring everything back into balance without you having to go down the waterfall. And so those are basically your two options. You're either going to stay doing whatever this is, and you're going to end up going down the waterfall, and then you'll see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just seeing there's a waterfall that's going to be happening, or you can veer off here. And it's something that reinstates the sense of balance. And having judgment there, that's your call. That's your choice, what you do. You do get a choice here. You can either stay doing this or you can veer off here and be better for it. But something is definitely, something's going to be happening. I feel like you have to, from where you are, from the position that you're in, you see these two different paths, and one of them feels like to keep going the way that you're going, or you have the option to veer off here, and they're two very different paths. Seeing Judgment and seeing Three of Wands feels like you need to play the tape to the end of each path. If you play the tape to the end of the path that you've been on, you're going to see that there's a waterfall that's coming up and you're going to drop down that. If you play the tape to the end of the other path, it's going to be something very different that's going on there. That's what Judgment and Three of Wands is going to be about. You recognizing the difference. But when you have the Devil there, it can be telling you, no, you just stay and keep doing this. It's going to be fine. It's not that big of a waterfall. And then it's like, then you hit the waterfall and that's going to be the Tower moment. But that doesn't have to, it doesn't have to get there. It doesn't have to happen. But I feel kind of like you've been getting little warning signs about this. So now can be the time that you pay attention if you want to. I'm seeing Capricorn, I'm seeing Libra, and I'm seeing Virgo. You could even be keeping something around and be ignoring what you want just because you feel like it's something that you need. But having the Devil there, it's not the case. But it's such a messed up energy because when we're in it, we really don't see it. Like, you really think that you need something. It's like you can feel like you're underwater and that you need the mask and that the Devil is the mask. And then you realize that you can actually just breathe underwater and you didn't need that. You just needed some faith. I wonder too if this crossroads is saying that you could keep going down the path that you feel comfortable with here, even though you know that it's not like of your highest alignment, we can say. I don't know, however it is that you want to label it for yourself, okay? I'm seeing one path very clearly be something that it's not the best thing for you. I actually think that you're aware of this, but at the same time, it can be much easier to just conform and stay doing that. It can feel convenient and you can be like, like not too high of a price for me, so it's okay. Not knowing that you're going to hit that waterfall, because it's going to happen. Seeing the Tower in the environment, there's no way, like that's the only way that it's going to go. There's no other way that it's going to go for you. That's just what's happening. You're building too high at this point and it's going to get knocked over because it's too far out of alignment. It's getting too far out of alignment now at this point. So the cosmic energy is going to come through and it's going to correct it. Or right now you can correct it yourself. And it's interesting too, because I'm seeing something very clearly be calling to you. I'm looking at Page of Wands and I'm looking at Nine of Cups. There is a path very clearly that you want to go down. And this is where the crossroads happens, where you can veer off and do that. But the path of the Devil may be something that you feel comfortable with. It may be familiar to you. There may be things that you're getting there that you feel like you need right now, but you're ignoring something else. Like you're ignoring your deeper intuitive knowing. Over top of Justice, I'm seeing Knight of Wands reversed. When we have Knight of Wands reversed, it can be something that cyclically and impulsively we're doing and we're not yielding more long-term results, because Knight of Wands can be like, well, this is just what's convenient for me right now, so I'm only worried about today. And it can be something that, even though being present is a wonderful thing, when there is a lack of insight of the greater context of what's taking place, where we're not recognizing patterns, which part of the reason we're here in a place where there are processes taking place is to do pattern recognition. Knight of Wands reversed can be not doing pattern recognition. And that then you end up somewhere and you're like, how did I get over here? And it's like, if you were paying attention, you would have seen that this is exactly where things were going the entire time. So maybe there's something about like living just for the moment and maybe not making the most wise choice. Maybe there's like really something here going on where you'd have to be uncomfortable for a little while if you were to make the better choice for yourself here. And that can be something that you've been avoiding with that Knight of Wands reverse. Because I think at the end of the day, Knight of Wands reversed is like when we're not in touch with our Mars energy, when we're not being very brave, where we are not connected with our masculine energy, we're not initiating, we're not taking action in the ways that we need to be. And so there's, it just feels like not really showing up to me. It feels like being like, oh no, it's fine the way that things are, when they're really not fine. And I think because of having Hermit here, you may be able to ignore this a little bit longer, but eventually it's going to catch up with you. And you're being given the option now. Because I'm telling you, whenever it is that this tower happens, I'm going to start doing a bunch of readings, whenever it is in the timeline, of all these towers happening and everybody being like, how did we get here? How did this tower happen? Because you know it's like cyclical when I start doing readings and the tower starts coming out. And it's like, we can all think back collectively to this point in time when something could have been changed and we could have collectively not had to go through the tower. And you get to course correct right now. Or you can be in the timeline with everybody else that's going to be going through the towers because they were ignoring the messages that they were receiving. So you get to really choose your fate here. It is all up to you what you're going to do with this. I'm seeing that you are faced with a crossroads, whether you choose the devil and the tower or you choose to go in the direction of the Nine of Cups. This is your choice that you have here. It's all on you what it is that you want to do here. And it's not like there's a wrong choice. It's just like, do you want that or do you want this? What do you want here? I'm seeing the Fool on the bottom of the deck. The Fool is about taking chances. The Fool is about taking a leap of faith. The Fool is about trying something new. It's about expanding your horizons. It's about doing something different. And so you have the option here to do something different, and it may be outside of your comfort zone, but it's better off for you. And then you get to have what you want without compromising something that at the end of the day is taking from you in a very greedy way. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.